Welcome to the Ghostly Chronicles, the Forgotten Lighthouse. On a remote stretch of jagged coastline, an old lighthouse stood, long abandoned and battered by storms. Locals spoke of it only in whispers, calling it the Eye of the Sea. The story went that the lighthouse had been built atop a shipwrecked graveyard where mariners had disappeared, lured by ghostly lights on stormy nights. Evelyn, a marine historian, dismissed the rumors as folklore. She was determined to uncover the lighthouse's secrets for her research. With her camera, flashlight, and notebook, she ventured to the cliffside alone, braving the salt-laden winds. Her heart pounded with both fear and excitement as she climbed the overgrown path leading to the crumbling tower. The lighthouse loomed tall and skeletal, its light long extinguished. Stepping inside, Evelyn found the air thick with damp and decay. The floor creaked under her boots, and seaweed clung to the walls as if the ocean had tried to reclaim the building. On the first floor she found a rusted spiral staircase winding up into the shadows. Her flashlight flickered as she ascended. The walls were etched with strange carvings, symbols that resembled constellations, but none Evelyn could recognize. As she ran her fingers over one, a faint humming sound began, like a low vibration deep within the structure. On the second floor, Evelyn discovered an old logbook. Its pages were water-stained and brittle, but she could make out fragments of the lighthouse keeper's entries. They described lights appearing on the horizon even on clear nights, accompanied by voices calling from the waves. The final entry read, "They come tonight, I hear their song. I am not strong enough to resist." A sudden sound echoed above her, metal clanging against stone. Evelyn froze, her flashlight sweeping the staircase. She saw nothing but felt an undeniable presence, as if she were being watched. She pressed on to the top of the tower. The lantern room was intact, the massive glass lens warped and covered in grime. A strange mechanism rested beneath it, resembling a compass but with far too many directions. At its center was a small, glowing orb, pulsating like a heartbeat. It reminded Evelyn of descriptions she'd read of bioluminescent sea creatures. The humming grew louder, and the orb began to spin. As it did, the grime on the glass dissolved, revealing a panoramic view of the ocean, but the horizon was wrong. Instead of endless water, Evelyn saw dozens of ghostly ships, their sails tattered and glowing faintly. They glided silently toward the lighthouse, leaving trails of phosphorescent mist. A voice, soft and melodic, whispered in her ear, "Turn the light and they will find peace." Terrified yet compelled, Evelyn reached for the mechanism. The moment she touched it, the entire lighthouse seemed to groan. The lens began to rotate, casting a beam of eerie green light over the sea. Wherever the light passed, the ships disintegrated into shimmering mist, their forms dissolving into the waves. But as the final ship vanished, the whispers grew louder, angrier. The beam abruptly stopped, and the orb darkened. The air grew frigid, and Evelyn turned to find the lantern room filled with shadowy figures. Men and women with hollow eyes, their forms flickering like dying flames. One stepped forward, its voice guttural and accusing. "You freed them, but who frees us?" Evelyn backed away, heart racing. The staircase behind her was gone, replaced by an endless drop into darkness. The shadows surged closer, their whispers now a cacophony of rage and sorrow. In desperation, she grabbed the orb and hurled it to the floor. It shattered, releasing a blinding light that engulfed the room. When Evelyn woke, she was lying on the rocky shore, the lighthouse looming above her, silent and intact. Her camera and notebook were gone, but the carvings from the walls were seared into her memory. She tried to warn others, but no one believed her story. Yet some nights when storms rage, people swear they see the lighthouse beam sweeping the sea, and ghostly ships drifting toward the cliffs. Evelyn knows the truth. The eye of the sea never rests, and the shadows still wait for someone foolish enough to return. Please like, share, and subscribe.